This video is going to cover a problem you might see on the SAT exam, trying to solve an equation that has square roots in it. So we can see this equation here reads the square root of x minus 5 equals 5 minus the square root of x. So our goal here is to figure out what value of x makes this equation true, that both sides would equal the same thing. Now the key with solving an equation that has square roots in it, you need to get rid of the square roots. And you get rid of the square roots by squaring it. So I'll take this first one here. I want to square it. And what I do to one side of the equation, I have to do to the other side. So I'm going to square it too. All right, if I square something that's underneath a radical here, I just get rid of the radical, leaving you with just the x minus 5. Now the other side is a little bit more complex. So it's not all underneath the radical, so I'm going to do multiply these two together. So when I square it, I'm doing multiplying by the same thing, 5 minus the square root of x. Okay, so to multiply this out, we can use FOIL. FOIL is where I'm going to multiply the 5 times 5, then the 5 times the negative square root of x, and negative square root of x times 5, and then negative square root of x times negative square root of x. Okay, so 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times the negative square root of x is negative 5 square root of x. And we're going to do the same thing here, negative square root of x times 5. Another negative 5 square root of x. And when I multiply negative square root of x times negative square root of x, two negatives give you a positive. And square root of x times square root of x just gives you x. That's pretty much similar to squaring the square root of x. Squaring it just gets rid of the radical. Okay, so let's bring down the other side. Over here, I can combine like terms. You get negative 5 square root of x minus 5 square root of x. It's going to give you negative 10 square root of x. And just bring down everything else. Alright, so I need to get the x's by themselves. So first thing I'll do is subtract x from both sides. Okay, that ends up adding to 0. 1x minus 1x is 0, so those go away. And now I'm going to subtract 25 from both sides. And it's going to give me negative 30. And what's left on the right side is negative 10 square root of x. Okay, I want to isolate this square root of x. So I'm going to divide by negative 10. Negative 30 divided by negative 10 just gives you 3. Negative 10 is going to cancel out because that becomes 1. So 1 square root of x, or just the square root of x. Okay, so I still have a radical. I need to get rid of that. And I'm going to do that by squaring it. And I got to square the other side likewise. So that gives me just x here. And then 3 times 3 is 9, so x equals 9. Now you can double check your answer by plugging this value back into the original equation and seeing if both sides equal the same thing. So if I take square root of 9 minus 5, so I'm just replacing the x with the 9. Okay, 9 minus 5 is 4. Square root of 4 is going to be 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Alright, let's look at the other side. 5 minus the square root of x, so 5 minus the square root of 9. Okay, square root of 9 is going to be 3. And 5 minus 3 is 2. So we get the same value on both sides, so our answer is correct. So that's how you solve a problem, an equation involving square roots.